Hey there, everyone. Wiley here with Dr. Willie, and we just wanted to get this process started where we're meeting weekly, and so this will be our first recorded meeting. So um, we will just share a little presentation on whole foods and versus processed foods, and how the importance of the foods that we put in our body, and how that has changed over time, and so. Um, as we get more participation in that, it'll be good to have some interaction and Q&A and things like that. So if you're watching this recording and you're thinking of some questions, please send those in to us, email it to us. You can email us at team@tmc-idaho.com, and we'll keep track of the questions that everybody asks and make sure that we cover those. So, uh, so yeah, we talk about whole foods versus processed foods, and maybe what do you think, Doc? How long has processed foods been part of our
I would
life?
say the ag industry really kind of took over as a powerhouse in the political world, which really influenced everything back in the 50s,
Okay.
60s. And then with the introduction of high fructose corn syrup in the early 70s, when they put a bunch of sugar tariffs on real sugar, it made it very expensive. So they switched to the high fructose corn syrup. And I think it's been a toilet bowl ever since with all the processed foods. It's been the ag industry is a money making industry. It's I've said this in a couple of my lectures, and you've heard it. We have a medical industry that's not concerned about food, and a food industry that's not concerned about your health.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would say that's kind of the start of it. It goes back as far as the 50s with some of the chemicals they do to increase shelf life.
Yeah.
But really, I think the big switch was high fructose corn syrup.
And then so it's cheap and it's addictive, right? I mean, it's
Oh, there's these guys aren't dumb. There's no difference between the addiction that food causes than alcohol or drugs.
Mhm.
It's the same hormones in your brain, and they know how to manipulate those. It's a dopamine surge, serotonin surge in particular, because these high sugary foods, processed foods, spike insulin. Insulin raises serotonin,
Yeah.
so you feel good eating them, and it becomes our medication,
Yeah.
just amongst other things.
Yeah. I guess you could say that we're all addicted
We are.
to
Oh, give
to
me a
that.
bag of Doritos, stand back.
Yeah.
I don't eat just one, right?
Yeah. Before you know it, the whole bag's gone. You're like,
No, all gone. Well, I can tell you my favorite addiction story when I really, really understood. I was earlier in my career traveling around the country, speaking a lot on hormones and food. And I was in a hotel in Florida, it was Tampa. And this is like 2002, 2003. This is a long time ago. And the only food, it was a cheap hotel. So they didn't serve breakfast, but there was a McDonald's across the street. And every morning I'd get up and I'd go over there and I thought, oh, the breakfast burrito can't be too bad. That little sausage burritos, right? So I had two morning for 3 days. When I got home, my fourth day, after 3 days of that, I got home. I woke up literally jonesing for one of those. That
hmm.
means craving
Yeah.
to a point of intensity.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And it really clicked. Oh my gosh, they are putting stuff in here. I am looking for McDonald's right now.
Yeah.
And I know better.
Yeah. Your
It's
brain's like, give me more of that.
give me
It's
more of that. Yeah.
it's all the
I
it's
need
all
my
the
hit.
buttons. Yeah. Yeah. So when we talk about processed foods versus whole foods, what are we talking? Are we talking more than two ingredients, more than five, 10? What?
I think my favorite way to describe it is this: if God made it, eat it. If man made it, don't.
Okay.
And so I really try to focus on one ingredient foods, an apple, not applesauce in a can. That has a lot more than one ingredients. So one ingredient foods are definitely the best. Some of the processing we didn't even touch on, besides the addiction, is the hormonal effect of them.
Oh yeah.
How so many of these processing chemicals are estrogenic. They're hormonally based, or they change your hormones. Let's say it this way. I could get into the specific and strict science of it, but it will bore everyone. Wiley will fall asleep. But just know they're hormonal. They change people's bodies. And so one ingredient foods don't.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So yeah, keeping it simple. I know a lot of people like they struggle with that because, you have to we have to get out of our routines, our habits, right? It's very easy to go to McDonald's, it's drive through, pick up your food and tastes good, you're on your way, right? And so it's a lot of our diet is very it's habit related, right? It's very habitual, and so it's hard to break those habits. Do you have any pointers in how can we how can we slowly start to break these habits and be more aware of what food we're putting in our body and make it as simple as possible, right? To break these habits. Do you have any tips on that?
I do. I think the old adage, if you fail to plan, plan to fail. It takes planning.
Yeah.
And for years, when I was a competitive bodybuilder, every Sunday after church, I made all my food for the week, every meal, all week long. And yeah, that's some work up front, but then it's convenient again.
But then you don't have to think about it
You
all
don't
week,
Think
right?
about
Like
it all week.
you're already okay, just grab my meal and
Go.
our way.
And now what they didn't have back then is all these companies that will make you very good food.
Yeah.
And there's few out there that will pride themselves, rightfully so. I know a couple of them here in town that they don't use any processing ingredients.
Mm.
If no one eats that food that day, it gets tossed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
gonna raw. It's gonna, yeah.
it's and those type of things, if you plan for them, and really even if you do the accounting, the math, it's cheaper than going to the Maverick every day and getting a Maverick burrito and a
$10
bag of
burrito
chips.
and-
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're hungry
And
2
then
hours later.
right, or a $12 coffee,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
all a bunch of processed crap, dude. Just get a caffeine pill. That's what we're after.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So good. So yeah, simple ingredient, one ingredient is best. Yeah, if your food has a label on it with a long list of ingredients.
Especially ones if you can't pronounce it first try, don't put it in your mouth.
Yeah, you can't say it, don't eat it. Huh?
Right.
Yeah, that's good. And so these affect our hormones, right? We're all concerned about our hormone, weight, energy, all that stuff. And so all these processed foods, all these extra chemicals, they affect our hormones and our energy levels. And so I think again, the hard part of changing habits is the change is hard, right?
Well, very.
And there's going to be a transition time where maybe you don't feel the greatest when you're coming off of these foods. Would you say that's true?
I think that's very bright. And I think that's partly what we do here at TMCI is we can help you with that transition. Because understanding what those hormonally laden chemicals are doing to you, we can help with what we do here in the functional medicine world, help fix that while you're transitioning. So you're not going to be jonesing, the word I used earlier, for your favorite $10 burrito from the Maverick, because we already have taken that into account, help you fix your hormones, get you on the right supplements, the right peptides, whatever it is to help balance you out. So then the healthy eating is easier. And it gets to a point you have to know that eventually it will flip and you'll feel so good. You'll be amazed you didn't eat like this your whole life.
Yeah.
We just have to get you there. And I think that's where what we do, Wiley, here in our clinic, helping people get that transition. Because, I've done this I started working in a health club when I was 11 years old, cleaning the gym. So this was before ACE had a certification, American Council of Exercise. So I was a personal trainer before there was one. Right. And I can tell you this, the mistake I made for 40 plus years writing people diets and teaching them how to exercise and stuff was telling them to do all at once. Okay, this is your new diet.
Yeah.
This is your new exercise schedule. Well, they feel like crap.
Right.
And that just makes them worse. So what we do, our approach here is, all right, let's get everything balanced. Let's get you feeling better. And then you're going to want to start avoiding the processed foods.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want to have this different eating style because it's just additive to how you feel.
Yeah.
I think that's the secret to helping people that really picture, well, how am I going to do this?
Right.
I don't have time to be an absolute nerd like that Willie guy and make my food all Sunday afternoon. But if I felt better, maybe I would eat an apple.
Mhm.
And guess what? Once you eat an apple, you're going, wow, that's pretty good. Let's go get an orange. I mean, it's
Right.
that food is good, but you have to develop a taste for it
Right,
because it's not chemicals.
right. And I think, a lot of times too, we think I'll just supplement. I'll just take some supplements to make up for what I'm not getting in my food, right? And that's not
Not a
really
good
the
idea.
best. Yeah,
No, it's your vitamins, your minerals are best chewed.
yeah,
Yes, supplements are just that. They're a supplement to your diet, but you have to have a good diet.
yeah. I like what you said too about, it's when we're making these changes to feel better and take more control of our health and optimize our health. It's like climbing a mountain,
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you can't just be like, okay, I'm gonna climb the mountain today, right? There's preparation, you gotta mentally kind of wrap your mind around it and you've got to get motivated and then you need somebody to help you know where to climb and how to get to the top, right? And so I think uh people kind of burn themselves out maybe because they jump right in and try to do too much at once, or they see everything they got to do and they freeze, right? They paralysis by analysis kind of
Yep.
thing. And so I think, yeah, like what you said about taking it step by step and us helping you, and hopefully you're seeing that in the programs as you're working with us. And like we've talked about, we definitely want to hear what you have to say, hear your questions, and where your challenges are, and maybe where how what are some things that you're doing to succeed in your program and feel better and take control of your health. But I think it definitely starts with what we're putting in our bodies, and what the the nutrients that we're getting, the fiber, the vitamins, the minerals, all that stuff. We need to have that good foundation, and it's a process. I mean, I go through periods where I'm eating really good, I'm doing great, eating a good clean diet, and then I fall off the wagon, and I'll go a week or so, and I'll just be like, man, I just for whatever reason got on this kick of eating fast food and junk food, and now I feel like crap again. And
Yeah.
so it's just a good reinforcement, like, okay, I'm gonna get back on track. And so if you do fall off the trail or whatever, you get back up and you get back on there and just kind of take it a step at a time.
Yeah. I think that all or nothing uh personality trait we all have some to some degree.
Yeah,
And so, oh, I screwed up, so now I'm done.
right.
That's not the way to do it. We're coming up on the biggest health failure every year with New Year's
Holiday,
resolutions
yeah.
because people change everything and that never ever works. Never works.
And that's a good point too, with the holidays coming up, all the snack foods, all the goodies, you're getting together with family, which is awesome. There's always good food. You have any tips on how to get through the holidays without completely just going?
Yeah, oh, you bet. In my book, What's Your Doctor Look Like Naked? There's a chapter preparing for holidays and parties. And happy to share that with people if you're interested. But in general, back to planning. So, for example, if you know you're going over to Grandma Smith's house and she makes the world's greatest pies, um, eat some protein before you go. Have a piece of beef jerky, have a slice of cheese, um, and that will really curb your appetite. So you can do that. And I'm a legalized drug dealer as a physician, so I can say this. Come talk to one of us about having phentermine on hand
Mhm.
for an appetite suppressant during the holidays. I don't think that's a problem.
Mhm.
I think it can be very beneficial for people actually. But again, preparing for it
Yeah,
and knowing, and I think one of the simplest, easy things to do is you're driving to Grandma Smith's for her world famous pie, eat some protein
yeah.
and you'll still enjoy the pie, but you're going to have a slice, not the whole thing.
Mhm. What about like men, like for me, I think too, I always have to try to remind myself, because I have more of a sweet tooth. So like when it's there, I'm like, oh, I need the big piece, right? I don't need the little taste. And then after I eat the big piece, then I feel like crap because I'm like, oh. So I think for me, it's just reminding myself food tastes good, so let's just slow down and enjoy the taste rather than seeing how much we can, stuff in our face and get down into our belly, and so. Yeah, I think that's great. Maybe drink a big glass of water, have some protein, kind of, so you're not going to grandma's and starving and then you'll try to overdo it on pie, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you have one of those brothers that always gets there before you do, you gotta eat more. So yeah,
Right,
let him do that.
yeah, good, awesome. Well, I think that's a good little talk for today, our first Zoom meeting, and like we said, we'll do this every week, Mondays at 1 p.m. And we'll just try to have a little topic where we talk about something to kind of help encourage you and keep you going on the healthy journey there, and yeah, so hopefully you guys can meet up, join with us next week, and definitely let us know, comment in the comments below.
And ask questions. We love
Yes.
answering questions.
Definitely. So, all right. Take care, guys. See you later.